What's up guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Olivia. If you're new here, this is Henrik. He's my little buddy. So I am excited for today's video. We are going to be chatting about all things intermittent fasting. I thought I'd just kind of take you through my morning, tell you maybe a little bit more about like what intermittent fasting is. Maybe if you're interested in trying it, this video will just help you have a little bit more direction on if it's right for you and kind of how I go about it. Obviously, different people have different opinions on intermittent fasting, so I'm just going to tell you what I've been doing and just kind of the things that I follow, but obviously you need to make sure that it suits you and your lifestyle. So I'm just gonna be taking you through my morning, letting you know a little bit more about intermittent fasting and why I do it, the benefits of it, and how it kind of works for me. So I got up around 6, he got up at 7. I just had a coffee this morning, and I do put a little bit of creamer in my coffee, which is something we will dive a little bit more into, but I'm not sure that I'll be able to get to the gym today, so a HIIT home workout it is. It's gonna be a real quick one, probably as soon as this little guy goes down, and then we'll kind of get started with the morning. Just wanted to quickly show you my outfit details. These are the Liv shorts. This is in the color Bondi Blue. I'm wearing a size medium. They just restocked the Liv shorts and the Liv leggings on the website, so definitely go check them out because they are my absolute favorite. And then on top, I'm wearing the Aurora crop top in white. Just finished up such a good HIIT workout. I had to take 10 minutes after I finished to just sit and relax because I was literally dying. I'm still glistening, but I feel amazing. I like to incorporate HIIT every once in a while. It's not something that I do like all the time. I'd say maybe like once a week or once every 2 weeks is when I incorporate HIIT. I like to save it for my at-home days just because I much prefer to like save my strength training sessions for when I'm actually in the gym, especially because our time slots are only at an hour now. So that's kind of why I threw in a HIIT workout today. It's quick, it's easy. I mean, it's not easy, it's quick. It's just easy to do anywhere because it doesn't require any equipment, and I just enjoy moving my body and kind of getting my heart rate up. So I want to chat a little bit more about like the benefits of intermittent fasting. Now, if you've done any research on fasting, you probably know that there definitely are some benefits to fasting, especially when it comes to seeing an accelerated fat loss. Now, this isn't something that's just magic and it's going to happen overnight. If you start fasting in a week's time, you're not going to see crazy progress. Studies show that you will see accelerated fat loss, but I wouldn't suggest trying intermittent fasting in the hopes of seeing that accelerated fat loss. It's not something that is super extravagant. It's not something where you're just gonna like do intermittent fasting for a couple months and be like, holy crap, I see all this fat loss. It's going to be like kind of happening slowly behind the scenes, but maybe more so accelerated than it would be if you weren't doing intermittent fasting. So I hope that makes sense. I just don't want anyone thinking that intermittent fasting is like a quick way to like lose weight or to diet, because that's definitely not the case. And I definitely consider intermittent fasting more of a lifestyle approach versus a diet, just because it actually is one that's sustainable, and I've experienced this from like my own doing. I've been doing intermittent fasting for a few years now, on and off, just depending on like where I was at. When I was pregnant, I wasn't doing intermittent fasting. When I was first postpartum, I wasn't either. So I kind of just go in and out of it depending on what's happening in my life, and also when I'm able to work out, because if I want to work out really early in the morning, I want to get a meal in after I'm done working out. So it really also depends on my workout schedule as well. But some other benefits of intermittent fasting is that you can have increased mental clarity just from fasting alone. That really can help increase your mental clarity. I find personally that I had a lot less cravings when I do intermittent fasting just because my eating window is smaller. I'll chat more about that in a little bit. I find that I just enjoy my meals a lot more because I'm able to have way bigger meals than if I'm eating all throughout the day. My meals are typically going to be a lot smaller and just more frequent, I would say, but I personally just really love big meals. And another benefit is that I find it saves me so much time because my eating window is smaller than it would be otherwise, and so I'm spending less time prepping for food, and I'm really just able to like be so much more productive in the morning, and that's one of like my favorite things about it. Lastly, another kind of benefit of it is that it's easy to adhere to, and that's why I consider it more of a lifestyle approach. It's just because it's actually something that you can start doing and you can stick with versus something that's super restrictive or doesn't allow you to enjoy certain foods or is just super restrictive. I think that would be really hard to adhere to. So that's another reason why I love intermittent fasting, and I definitely say that is a benefit of it as well. So I'd say there's definitely a lot more benefits around it, and like I said, if you are interested in learning more on it, definitely do some research on it. I always suggest like educating yourself further before trying something. So the next thing I want to chat about is who is intermittent fasting for. Now, intermittent fasting is definitely not for everyone. You may try it, you may hate it. You may try it, you may love it. But depending on where you are in your journey, if you are already under eating on your calories and you're having a hard time consuming enough food throughout the day, I would definitely not try intermittent fasting just because it's going to shorten your eating window, which you don't want if you're trying to consume more food. But if you're somebody who you find yourself overeating and you're eating in a surplus and you're looking to decrease the amount of calories or macros consumed in one day, intermittent fasting might be something that you want to try. Like I said, it's not for everyone. I love it because I don't like eating in the morning, so it actually works out really perfect for me. It helps me kind of keep my calories in check. So I guess kind of the thing we should chat about is actually like, what is intermittent fasting? I probably should have chatted about this first, but I hope kind of things are making sense so far. So intermittent fasting is basically when you have a predetermined time that is your eating window. So you decide what hours you're going to eat throughout the day. The other hours you are fasting. You're only drinking water. You can drink things like black coffee, black tea. Pretty much anything else is kind of out of the question. I mean, you could throw in some Crystal Light or something like that if you wanted to, but you typically don't consume any food outside of those eating hours. So when you're fasting, there's obviously, like I chatted about, a lot of like benefits that are happening. And then when you break your fast in the morning, that is now considered your eating window. So when it comes to choosing an eating window, you want to find a time that works really well for like you and your schedule. A lot of people follow the 16-8 rule, which means that you're fasting for 16 hours and then you're eating for 8 hours. So this is a really great approach to at least start with while you start to like get a little bit more familiar with it, just because from the research that I've done, 16-8 is definitely the most popular method of intermittent fasting. Sometimes people do a 12 and 12 hours fasting, 12 hours eating. Sometimes people do 20 and 4. And so obviously your fasting window is much larger and your eating window is a lot smaller. The longer you fast, the more benefits there are. So yes, there are more benefits to fasting for 20 hours, but for me personally, that is not something I could stick with. So it's really important to figure out what works best for you and what feels good for you and your body. So I typically follow the 16-8 personally. Sometimes I even do a little bit more like a 15-9. One of the great things about IF is that it's not something that's super strict. You make it work for you and your lifestyle. So same goes for choosing what time you want to break your fast and what time you want to end your fast. You really get to structure your day depending on what your needs are. For me personally, I'm not somebody who likes to eat in the morning, so I'll typically break my fast around 11 or 12, and I usually eat up until my 9-hour window. So depending on when I break my fast will depend on when my eating period ends, if that makes sense. So I typically follow 15-9, but it's important for you to do what works best for you. If you're somebody whose appetite's just way higher in the morning, or you just enjoy eating in the morning and the afternoon more, and you don't really get as hungry in the evening, maybe pushing your eating window a little bit earlier on in the day would be better for you. And then just kind of move forward from there. But you can definitely do some trial and error and kind of see what feels good for you and your body. But I do recommend sticking to it for a prolonged period of time just to kind of see how your body responds. When you first start intermittent fasting, you might find like, oh my gosh, I'm not used to this. I'm used to waking as soon as I wake up to all the way until I go to bed. And so it might take a little bit of time for your body to adjust, but just know that you can slowly start to shorten that eating window. Maybe start with the 12-12, and then every day you can kind of close your eating window down a little bit, maybe by like an hour or something. So that's kind of what intermittent fasting is. If you've tried intermittent fasting, let me know in the comments down below, because I love it. I think it's amazing and it just works really well for me and my body. So I'd love to know if you've tried it. Let me know down below. So I am going to get this workout posted on Instagram right away, and then I have a phone call with a client pretty soon here, or a potential client. Right now, Built by Balance is open for application. It hasn't been open in a while. So if you are interested in learning more about Built by Balance, I will put all the details in the description. But it's basically my 12-week mentorship program. We focus on fueling your body in the right way, just improving improving your overall mindset with food, learning how to work out effectively, and also just upgrading your mindset so you can really just create a healthy, sustainable lifestyle. So there's so much within this program. We do weekly check-ins, there's a community, we do bi-weekly group coaching calls, there are modules that are delivered to you every single week. You can reach out to myself or my co-coach Kate at any point in time. So if you're interested and you're really serious about like making a change and being a healthier you, check out the link in the description box for all the details on Built by Balance. But I gotta get started on this and get this workout posted so I can hop on my call. I'm all showered up and ready to go for the day, so I'm gonna go ahead and break my fast. It is 11:30 right now. I typically break my fast right around this time. Sometimes it's more like 11, sometimes it's more like 12, but I really try my best to kind of break my fast at the same time every single day. If you're always like changing up when you're eating, you're not in that much of a routine and your body kind of will feel like it's all over the place as far as your appetite goes. I usually don't even start getting hungry until like right now. So I'm gonna go ahead, break my fast, have a big meal. Again, it doesn't matter what size of meals you have. It's all about calories in versus calories out. So just keep that in mind. Just because I'm having a big meal doesn't mean that you need to have big meals. If you're somebody who prefers smaller meals throughout the day, but you eat more frequently, do whatever works for you. But I'm gonna have a big meal because like I said, that's one of my favorite benefits about intermittent fasting. So I had a really productive morning, which feels really, really good. So now let's eat. One thing I do want to mention is when it comes to things like creamer or milk or sugar in your coffee, I did want to bring this up because I want you to be a little bit more educated when making a decision for yourself. So when I've done my research on intermittent fasting, some studies show that if you keep your calories under 30 calories, it won't break your fast. Some research shows if you keep your calories under 50 calories, you won't break your fast. So as you saw this morning, I measured out how much coffee creamer I was using just because I like to be aware on how many calories I'm putting into my body while I'm in my fasted state. So some research also shows that you shouldn't have any calories and you should be having just like straight black coffee or black tea if you do want to have like tea or coffee in the morning. If you really want to just kind of get all the benefits of intermittent fasting, I would honestly just recommend sticking with black coffee or black tea. For me personally, the reason why I have creamer in the morning is honestly because I don't actually do intermittent fasting for any other purpose than it really just helps me make sure that I am being consistent with my calorie intake on a day-to-day basis. So I don't actually do intermittent fasting for the benefits of fasting, which is kind of an interesting approach, but it's definitely something that I wanted to bring up. I find that if I am paying attention to the hours that I'm eating, I always end up way closer to my calorie goals as well as my macros, even when I'm not actually tracking, when I'm just eating intuitively. I just find that I have an easier time kind of staying within like my goals, my daily nutritional goals. So for me, it's worth it to have a little bit of creamer in the morning. I find that it doesn't like make me any hungrier or anything like that. So I just wanted to bring that up because I want you to kind of make sure that you are aware and you understand that potentially some research shows that having any calories can break your fast. So if you want all the benefits of fasting, I would suggest just sticking with black coffee, black tea in the morning. So like I said, I've already had a few calories this morning. I had a tablespoon and a half. There's 25 calories in a tablespoon of that silk creamer. So what's half of 25? 12.5. 25, 37.5. So I had 37.5 calories this morning and it's all good. So I'm just gonna kind of carry forward with intermittent fasting and keep on going for the day. So Henrik just woke up from a nap, which was perfect timing because I just finished breakfast. He's just here hanging out. He loves the camera so much. But I am going to wrap up this video because this video is getting very long, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a little bit about intermittent fasting. I do want to remind you that I'm just sharing my own experiences. I'm not telling you that you need to try intermittent fasting or that it's going to be the key to your success. Everyone's journey is so completely different. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!